Hey, is Mark there?
Yes, he is. He's on the speakerphone.
Hey, Mark, this is RJ Bates calling about your property on Killdeer. How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just I was kind of bored the other night, and I saw what you had there. It's totally out of my character to bring anybody to the table because I'm greedy and I like the pie all to myself, you know. So when it comes to realtors, most of my house, I'm 62, so I've sold a few houses and properties in the past. But I thought I'd entertain it. Just
Oh, I'm not a realtor. I'm a buyer.
yeah, I know you are. Right. But you're a buyer that's going to want to make money. So yeah.
Doesn't everybody? Everybody wants to make money at some level, right?
Well, of course you do. But see, the thing is if I've got 2 feet and I can walk, why do I need to have someone else to walk for me? Unless I want to be lazy. But if I want to be lazy, then it's going to cost me, you know, for that laziness in a way. You know, if you can't build a deck, you got to pay somebody else to do it for you. Yeah. It's just, but again, and I know the market, what's kind of going on. Well, I know what's happening in our economy. I mean, I know the rest are all still running around with their balloons and that, and having their birthday party and thinking it's all going to work out here. But I think it's going to get a little crazy here. But that's everybody's got their own opinion on the reality of the world they live in. So, but yeah. So, anyways, I thought let's see. Possibly, I don't have the house up. Been here forever since it was built.
How much do you want for it?
I think we're at the assessed tax value. I think is right around that 300. It's got 30 acres. And what I'm noticing too, just in this area, because I'm originally from down in the cities, a lot of people are getting out of the cities. You know, it used to be Minnesota nice and that, but it's changing up. So I'm seeing a lot of people from the cities starting to gravitate more into the rural areas, which I think that'll help the pricing or maintain, or there should be a little more maybe demand. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where you guys at? Where you at? Were you at Texas or something?
Yeah, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Where was I? Good deal. Yeah, I was just down in Dallas about a year ago. I buy motorhomes throughout the United States, so I'm all in Texas and California and Florida and all over the place. Yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, well, you got everybody moving from California coming there right now, I think.
Yeah, they like to gravitate towards Austin, so we just made Austin officially a part of California. I mean, Austin used to be really cool. Now it's just got a ton of homeless people, so I guess they like it that way.
See, we like it up here where it's cold, and that keeps that shit away.
Right?
We don't have people. You don't unless you got to be hardcore to be homeless here. But they do it, But the amount is really small compared to some places, or Philadelphia, Kensington Street, where everybody's bent over on the fentanyl. It's going crazy, man. I'm watching this place just slowly going down the slide. It's too bad. The car market's dead too.
Yeah.
You want to get a car here cheap? Oh, give it about another 8 weeks, and I bet you can pick up probably maybe 40% less. You'll be screaming deals if you got the money. Consumer spending's just in the shit. So the fantasy and the credit cards are gonna max out here pretty soon, and then reality is gonna kick in. We're losing 15,000 cars a day are being repoed in the United States right now.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
It's not yet. This is just the tip. It's not all the way in at all. Believe me. About 10 feet, but getting ready to come in. Then it's getting deep. And unfortunately, we're in a society where people have been basically brainwashed for generations, and to believe in this corporation, as I call it, that they're here to take care of us, and where they look at us as their little children, and they're supposed to protect us, and I think they got another agenda. Whoops! Don't tell anybody. Hey, Santa Claus has been real. Wait, what? Yeah, Tooth Fairy too. Yeah, it's all bullshit. Sorry. Oh man, you guys been lying to me all this time? Yeah. Sorry. It's just how we roll, I think the American dream is slowly dwindling away. I've got a badass 2008 diesel pusher motorhome here I'm looking at, and that's got about a 85K value. I've got the thing listed at 69, and I'm having a hard time to get any love. And and I know that's coming too. So that's why I'm like, well, okay, we got to get this thing out of here before the market really takes the crap.
I got you.
Go buy gold and silver. That's what I would be buying. If you're really smart, I would. Obviously, you can tell I'm not really pushing my property too hard. I don't need to doom and gloom, but I'm just being real, And
you're not related to a guy named Ryan Pfeiffer, are you?
Say again?
You're not related to a guy named Ryan Pfeiffer, are you?
Ryan Pfeiffer? No. Is that to do a Minnesotan or something?
Well,
he's some crazy guy.
He's one of my kids' hockey coaches down here, and you sound like you could be his brother.
Oh, because we're from Minnesota. Yeah, sure, don't you know? Yeah, I can throw the twang in there a little bit more there, Yeah, we got a lot of the walleye up here. We like to fish and drive on the frozen lakes, and it's terrible. I would go down to New Zealand for 9 months working on a project with my brother and come back, and all of a sudden I'm just like, what the heck? Oh my God, I feel like I'm in the movie Fargo. and I couldn't, but being away for a while, coming back, I was like, holy crap, these guys, we got some twang going here,
Right. I love it.
But other than that, it's Minnesota's it's a good place here. I can't do the big, like the Texas and California. When I come to places and driving these motorhomes back, and I just go, how did they, you get acclimated, or you've been there all your life, so you don't know any different. But I mean, shit, I'm looking at a cornfield growing, and my dogs can run wherever they want, and horse out in the field, and
right.
Not hearing planes landing, like some people I know, or you can't even talk to them on the phone, because they're on the flight path, and it's that loud. I mean, you literally could throw a rock at the plane coming over their house.
Right.
It's so I was a city. I came out hung out here with I call them Minnesota hillbillies, maybe.
All right.
They're not just in Georgia or Tennessee or wherever everybody wants to think. You just go up north in Minnesota there, and oh shit, we're right in there. Yeah, it's but other than that, it's a decent state, a little bit high on some of the taxes and that, but to live and people wise, and where I'm at here, it's pretty much it's whites and Native Americans. We got a casino up here, not too far, and that's it. So me, when I go out into the big cities, almost like holy shit,
Yeah.
With embassy suite in Houston, Texas, there, and it was like, yeah, not that I got no, I hang with everybody, but yeah, I just noticed it's definitely a changing environment and that and people. And so, hey, we got the borders wide open. Come on in. We got Minnesota has. If you're an illegal alien, you can come up here and we'll give you free medical too. You get free medical, and we'll give you a driver's license. I'm waiting for them to start doing the give out the cars program next. Yeah. And you get one car too with a tank of gas. What are we doing here? I need to go. Let's go jump the border and come back through. I watched a guy in New York. It's a badass hotel, 27 stories. You got 5,000 people in there. And these were $450 a day night rooms. And the place is just, it's like it's really, it's pretty bad. The guy works there. He says the drugs and the alcohol, everything. And these people are given phones and they're given debit cards every day to use to go buy food or whatever.
What is happening?
So man, this is the land of milk and honey, man. Yeah, you want to, especially now. But unfortunately, they're coming into a situation where this place is going to be a shithole just as much as the place they probably came from. Because we're all going to be doing third world here dance pretty soon. So you might have been better off where you were originally at, instead of some big ass city when the lights go out. Because,
I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, you might as well turn on the meat grinder then. Yeah, it won't be a fun scenario. But other than that, yeah, gold and silver is going to be is what you want to get into, because the dollar's getting ready just to get tossed here. Digital currency is coming into play. Say goodbye to your dollars and under the table and, doing whatever. You won't be able to do that anymore. It'll just have to go from your debit account to my debit account.
So how many solid silver nickels do I have to give you for your land here?
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I'd be game on that too. Well, right now, silver ounces are going for about $30 an ounce. It's right now at about, it's been bounced at about 24, 25 an ounce on the exchange. But physical silver goes for more than, see, a lot of people don't understand that. They go, why you want $30 an ounce when I'm looking here on the internet and it says it's 24 or 60, and I'm like, that's paper. Physical silver in your hand goes for like $5-6 above spot price. And seriously, I got people that go, yeah, you're crazy. I'm my financial investor who does millions. He says, don't, I'm like, they're not looking at the big picture here and that. And gold and silver has been they've kept it so in the dirt. It's amazing. But even states now, I don't know, I think Texas too, where they're bringing it in where you can use gold and silver as a currency. There's about 8 states now that are doing that, and they're more and more are starting to jump on board. I think when the dollar crashes, the new currency will probably be backed by the gold and silver. Go back. Gold and silver has been currency for thousands of years. Fiat currency is come and gone, and it always fails, and it's going to fail again, because there's no way that you can sit here and have this kind of debt and think that you're ever going to get out of it. It's not possible. So they know the powers that be. They're going to collapse currency, across the globe, and that's where, yeah, I think we're coming into that one world order scenario, and we're getting close. But yeah, they gotta collapse everything before coming back and rebuilding. Kind of like the Phoenix. So burn it down and start over. And I'm thinking we're probably maybe months away from that, or anything could happen now with this war going on.
Dude, you should have a podcast.
You know, I got people that tell me that. See, I'm very bored here, so I got one guy online here, one viewer. Here we go. Yeah, I do, and I do talk to people like you that I don't even know, but I'll get into this, and either you'll want to hear me, or you'll go, "Well, hey, Mark, by the way, how many rooms are in that house?" You know, or you know, break the. I got a phone call coming, and because I feel compelled to help. I don't even know you, but I care enough of you as a fellow human to try to tell you or show you some of the things I'm seeing, and a lot of other people are seeing too. That's really going on, and we're being played bad, man. I mean, it's sad, and it's so deep that it would take me a long time for me here to deprogram you from what you've been taught your whole life and what you were taught from your parents and from your grandparents. I mean, it goes generations deep. Where we've been, it's a cult, man. It's like a Jim Jones cult. I don't know if you know about Jim Jones, but he had 800 people that went and took the Kool-Aid over in Guyana and lay down and died because he told them to. And humans, they believed in him to where they were willing to give their life. That's how easy humans are manipulated. They're easily brainwashable species. You can take them and it's about programming. You get programmed in school, you get programmed in boot camp, you know, yeah, it's indoctrination, but and then it's part of our society, and it becomes acceptable, and yeah, we just keep on thinking that we're voting presidents that are going to make it better, and or we got to get Trump back in, or that's the damn right Republicans or the damn Democrats, and see, I'm not even caught up in that anymore. I don't even, because I believe that the right wing and left wing are wings of the same bird, and it's just order out of chaos. And they get you to, this is all about pointing fingers at each other instead of us pointing fingers at.
I think I'm just glad to hang up on him.
Here, they got us pointing fingers at each other, and it's just it's all a mind game. So it's social engineering and brainwashing, and you know they got you believing
18 minutes.
The damn moon. You know, and we've been taught that our whole lives, or when I was a kid, saw it on TV at the school. You know, like wheeled in the old TV, and then and all those years believing that maybe, you know, that we went to the moon, and then finally start doing the research. Thank God for the internet, and came to the conclusion that it's not possible. These guys lied, and they lie about everything else. So why wouldn't they lie about that? You know, so it's just, yeah, we got a very demonic corporation that's we've let dictate our lives, and you know, and shame on us too as a people to let these. It's almost like they call it Stockholm syndrome. I know, I can research that. You know, where people are victims and held captive by people, and then the next thing you know, they're falling in love with their captor, and that's you know, like a pimp and a hoe on the street. You know, and we're just a bunch of hoes on the street. And we got a pimp that is an abusive relationship. We're getting screwed here, but we just keep going back because we don't know what else to do. Well, we need to vote somebody else. And I was like, well, guess what? Don't tell anybody. Your votes don't count. It's all an illusion. You're thinking that all the immigrants are going to come in, they're going to vote Democrat or this, and it's all bullshit. And people have a hard time with that because they want to believe that they're supposed to be part of this process. And God blessed America, and we have all this material stuff, and so therefore we got it going on. And then it's like, well, shit, we got all this material stuff, but we have more people here taking antidepressant drugs than all the countries combined. So what happened with being happy and having all your trinkets, you know? Hey, look what I got. Look what you got. Yeah. Yeah. So it's we're it's kind of like being in a mental hospital, and and the patients don't realize it's a patient's this illusion that's been created. But yeah, it's all going to pop here pretty soon, unfortunately, and it's sad. It's actually, if you're awake to it, it's heartbreaking, because if you got family and kids and that, all of our futures are being compromised here. I believe it's going to be a game changer, and if you don't go along with the program, you're going to be an outcast. And good luck trying to spend any money with your debit card, because they'll have it shut off. Because just like they do in China, they have social credit scores now, so they can actually screw with you. If your social credit score is low, they might just shut your debit card account off, and you won't be able to go to the store to go buy your groceries. And that's going on over there now. But yeah, some big game-changing events, I think, but silver and gold, yeah. So definitely, because actually, if I was going to do this, I would probably, instead of putting most of the money in the bank or something, I'd be stacking pretty big, because I'm that confident in my choice on that, what I think is going to happen. And it might be confiscated too. It might be illegal. You know, they did that with gold for many years, and that you actually weren't able to hold over like a couple of ounces, I think, of gold. They changed it though back in 73 or 4 or something. Yeah, I think that might be, and it's happened before with other currency where the dollar was worthless and the kids were playing with this money like it was play money, and people were buying houses with silver, that they had. So it actually became a currency there for a while.
What are your thoughts about the 13 elite families?
Oh shit! There he goes. The Illuminati, the blue bloods. Yeah, that's it. You're right on it there. Here's the deal. And I don't know where you come from spiritually, or if you just think that, I believe that we're here for a reason. You and I are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Why, Shelby? Why?
Reason we got thrown on this planet, this body that we're in. I call it a meat suit, because that's not really who we are. We are what we are, so we can survive here. But it's all these governments are in on this. Okay, China, Russia, Ukraine, they've all been infiltrated by the powers that be, and I believe the powers that be are these select global elite, but there's something above them, and I believe those are demonic entities that even your Bible talks about, where it says, "Don't fear man, but fear the spirits and entities of this earth," and that these are fallen angels. They're demons. They've been here forever, and they have hooked up with a select, somewhere thousands of years ago, the bloodline, and they've worked with those, because these spirits in that don't have human form, and so therefore they've used this family bloodline to fulfill their agenda, which is to get to this one world order, Antichrist, I guess you call it too. Eventually, it'll be one global, and the computer is going to be used to tie this all in. They'll track us with that. They do it already with our phones. They can hear. It's a crazy shit. You and I could be talking about something, and I'll go upstairs and get on my other computer, and I'll see an ad about a generator or something, and we were talking about a generator, and that just really weird. Someone that just called me the other day. I haven't heard from them for 9 months. I'm on Facebook, and I'm going through where they show, like, oh, you might know these people, some kind of once in a while scan through it. And I look, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I know that person. And that within 3 hours, she was calling me. And I thought, this is really bizarre. it was too coincidental, you know, like almost. But you see, yeah, there's so much that's in the information or just our knowledge of what's really going on in technology is so weak, you know. But yeah, it is. It's a bloodline, and this whole thing that you're watching, you know, like your governments and the right wing and left wing. This is like,
Hey, is Alfonso there?
Speaking.
Hey, Alfonso, this is RJ Bates calling about your property on Galveston Way. How are you doing?
Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm at work right now. I can't
closed doors.
Okay. Yeah, can you just call me back later when you're available?
All right.
Good thing we
How
spent
about-
2 weeks, you know, practicing that, you know, and I've been to these because I was with people when we brought Medusa Michelli into wrestling back in the early '90s, and we go to some of these camps. I'm looking around, going, these people think this shit's real. No, and
Do you think the Earth is flat or round?
whoa, boy, flat.
Yeah. Are there lizard people?
I don't know about that. There's grays they talk about. There could, you know, you see people, they talk about their eyes, you know, changing. But I can't back on that. I snubbed the flat Earth thing for many years, till about maybe about 4 years ago. And I said, you know what, Mark, you research all this other stuff for the last 15 years, and you can't even entertain the fact that maybe that the Earth could be something other than what they told you, and these people lie to you. So I started researching it, and then I'm like, holy shit, you know, this is scientific facts, you know, that, you know, this can't be the way they say it is. You know, water doesn't curve. You can't. They're telling you you're on this planet that's spinning 850 miles an hour, and see, if you start talking about that, people start getting pissed too, and they're like, "No, you really think it's flat?" You know? I said, "Yeah." I said, "Once you go flat, you never go back."
But what about when we fly? I mean, like we get up to a certain altitude and it allows us to go faster because the Earth is curved. So how do you argue against that?
That the higher you go up, the faster you go. You say?
Well, yeah, because when you get up to a certain altitude and you're flying at a certain speed, because you're so far away from a curved Earth, it allows you to travel more distance faster. That's why airplanes could get somewhere only going, 500 miles an hour, but they can travel more miles than 500 in a certain period of time. So how do you argue against that?
You're higher from the surface of the Earth.
Correct.
So you're covering more distance. I suppose if is that possible if you were doing 500 miles an hour on the ground, or you're doing 500 miles at 40,000 feet? Would I still be following you if I was on the ground and looked up? The Earth is supposed to be curved, like they say, about 4 inches for every square mile. And so what I thought was really interesting was these guys took lasers and they went to this lake that had a 20-mile distance from the one shoreline to the other shoreline. They took lasers about 8 inches off the ground. They ran it across, and it landed on the other shore 8 inches off the ground. If there would have been some curvature there, then that shouldn't have been able to do that. It would distort it, it would throw it off. The other thing too, when you talk about airplanes, is if you're out flying and if you were in the curvature and you're going at 30,000 feet, wouldn't you have to drop the nose down every once in a while, or otherwise you just kind of go straight out into space if you just kept going, straight? There's all. I think there's more to it.
But why can we see other planets and they're round? Why would we be different?
Yes, yeah. And you got that too. What are these? When you look outside
And the moon. I mean, we clearly landed on the moon.
Well, to go to the moon, see, they talk about when you're in outer space, there's no vacuum. And the thing is you can actually do the test here where you can take a fan with a feather in that, where that fan should be able to blow that feather. And what they do is they'll suck these like a vacuum and suck all the air out. When there's no air, that fan did nothing to affect that. So what I'm trying to say is, if you were to have a spaceship and go to the moon, which is 240,000 miles one way, you would have to have some type of atmosphere for there to be thrust with your rockets. And if there's no atmosphere, that would make it hard to do. The other thing is you have the Van Allen belt, which is supposed to be highly radioactive. And Dr. Van Allen, who is the one that they named it after, said that if a human was to go through that, they would have to be like in a spaceship that was 20 feet thick, cement or steel, to be able to not be penetrated by that high intensity radiation. And none of those pilots, none of those astronauts died from radiation. The only thing they died from is living a lie, unfortunately. And I don't, but it's hard to fathom that somebody would actually do that. Why would NASA lie to us or fabricate this whole thing? But there's a thing you can go to, it's called Astronauts Gone Wild. This guy is a reporter, and he would actually go meet up with these different astronauts from the Apollos, and they would start out his conversation where they thought they were being interviewed, and then he started laying into them on some questions.
Is Astronauts Gone Wild a spinoff from Girls Gone Wild?
What is it again?
I said, is Astronauts Gone Wild a spinoff from Girls Gone Wild?
Oh, yeah. No van or anything like that. No, but I'm telling you, he's Neil Armstrong, these guys, he would confront them. And you got to understand, let's say you went to the moon, and you were one of the astronauts, and I came up to you at a hotel lobby and started calling you out on it and going, you never went to the moon, dude, that's all a lie. Here's the Bible. Put your hand on there and swear you went to the moon. I don't know. Would you kind of start getting pissed at me where you'd want to beat me up or something, because I was making these comments to you? I would think not. If you really went and you knew that you went, it wouldn't bother you. But these guys lose their shit. They get pissed. They swing on this guy, literally, and they because they know what he's saying is true. And it's a natural reaction, a human reaction. So they're basically validating just by their actions or responses from this encounter that they have with this guy, that it's bullshit.
I don't know. Think about this. If it was like the thing that you were most famous for in your life, and you consistently got asked if you really did it or not, I think at some point in time you would get pissed off.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't confront like this guy did, and so most people just go along with it. They see, one of those guys, you see me come in, and then you're like, hey, can I get a picture with you, dude? Oh, sure, and NASA pops about, I forget how many millions of dollars a day from the American taxpayers, and that, and these are from scientists too that have stated, this is not possible. You can't go through the Van Allen belt. There's not enough fuel to go 240,000 miles one way and then come back. Even though you saw it on TV, it was done out in the desert in New Mexico. And yeah, it is. But see, when you hear that, and you've been told something totally different, what your natural reaction is just to shut down and go, that's crazy talk, and you're fucking foolish. You're crazy. Yeah.
All right, I got 3 more questions, and then I got to go buy a house. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me how much my place is worth. Yeah.
1, was JFK an inside job?
Was what?
Was JFK an inside job?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Who built the pyramids?
What's that?
Who built the pyramids?
What about the Google pyramid?
No, who built the pyramids?
Oh, who built the pyramid? I couldn't tell you for sure, but they're older than 3,000 years old that they want to portray. And then one thing real quick too on the JFK, because I know a lot of people haven't seen it. I saw a clip, and it was real, and they were getting ready to take a left to go down the main road before he got shot. They got Secret Service standing on the back bumper of the car, and there's a Secret Service head guy in the passenger seat. The head guy signals for the guy in the back right to step off. He stepped off the car, and the motorcade kept going on. You can see him putting his hands in the air, going like, "What the hell's going on here? What's going on?" And so they had him off of there. It was this whole government is totally it's demonic. It's run your stars that you see on your flag. Those aren't stars in the skies. Those are 5-pointed pentagrams. Who uses 5-pointed pentagrams? People in the occult, black magic, and you see these stars not just here in the United States. You'll see them over in China. You'll see them over in Russia. They all use the same symbolism too, because this is ancient symbolism. But the common man has absolutely no clue that it even exists because they don't understand the ancient symbolism. So it's nothing. But either way, so that was 2. What was your third question?
My last question is, who did 9/11?
That would be done by the global elite. That was definitely an inside job. You've got Building 7, which you probably are aware of. Maybe not, but that fell down. So there's actually, I asked people how many buildings fell on 9/11. They'll say 2. They'll say no. Actually, there was 3. Building 7 fell. It was 47 stories, and it fell some hours later. And another one that fell free fall into its own footprint at free fall speed. When those buildings fell, it was like taking a cue ball on the top and letting it drop to the ground. It was like, we're talking less than 8 seconds. The other thing too, people go, "Oh, jet fuel." Jet fuel is kerosene. Okay, it's not crazy explosive and like this thermite or something that melts steel. You have to have 2,800 degrees to start to melt steel. And that plane was made out of cloth or out of aluminum and cloth. The only thing that was heavy duty was the titanium plates and then you're going to have it where it's going to hit this building. It's like your grill, turning it on and running. You can burn just like inside those buildings, the office equipment and the furniture and all that. Some of it could get burnt, but it wasn't enough to burn it where it went into free fall speed, dropped. That was thermite they were using because you could see some of the beams that had fallen. They actually had 45-degree cuts on it. They cleaned that place out within days, when after it happened. No, it's order out of chaos. It's how they roll, and I believed it at one time too, and so I had to change all my thinking on things that I used to think was this way, and now it's not that way anymore because I had to do my own. Instead of just believing what you tell me, I had to go out and try to figure it out and come to my own conclusion. Instead of telling me, "Hey, Mark, this is a red apple or a green apple or whatever," I have to find out for myself, and that's what you should do. It's called critical thinking, and most people we've gotten lazy, and we believe in pseudoscience, where we just believe because that's what we were told, without even nut job now. There you go.
I like it.
And so
I like it.
but that's okay.
So, how much do you want for this? You said you wanted 300.
Yeah, that's what we were looking. It's a little over 300 on that, but I know that. Yeah, like I said, I'm just entertaining it, and I don't know what enticed me to do it last night. Maybe we're going legal here with that marijuana now. So
Yeah, I think it's just because you wanted to talk to me. I mean, honestly, I'm a really good listener, and so I really enjoyed our conversation. I can't give you 300 for it because I'm an investor. So what would I do with it?
Yeah. So when a guy is doing, what do you then what do you go off of? Then
normally what I look at is I look at something that's I find something that's similar. I mean, so you've got 3 sold comps around you. You got 350, 260, 260. I mean, the 350 had 6.7 million square foot lot, though. You've got 1.3 million. But you're a newer house than all of those.
This is a log home, square log home.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I think you've got a $300,000 property. I can't pay that. So I'm way cheaper.
Money,
Yeah.
Yeah. I go buy a motor home. I anticipate on investing 50 grand in something. Maybe I want to make 70 on it.
Right.
And sometimes I don't, but that's I jumped over the bar higher than that, so I like to keep the bar up there if I can. But still maintain. And if you pull a 10 or something instead of a 20, and if it moves, then you're still moving. So it's all about keeping it going.
The other problem is you're kind of in the boonies. There ain't much around you.
No, the only thing that's going here is a casino. You're out of the cities, so again, it's a person. Like I think that I told you that a lot of people are gravitating out of the cities, and this is nicer than most places out here. And I've got solar set up, and does about probably 60% of my energy cost. But yeah, it is. It's definitely not living on the lake down in the city, where everybody's got $1 million homes. It's not a, but again, there's a lot of, you understand, on the weekends and that, we get people that just roll in here from the cities. Like it's unbelievable. And then they cruise across here going over to Wisconsin. So this place changes considerably during the summer months and on the weekends.
Right.
And I'm seeing more and more people since the COVID thing gravitating more on the weekends. There's just more of them. Just like, holy crap.
Right.
They go in traffic for a couple of hours from the city, come up here, go to the RV or the campsite, and they're all on top of each other over there, and then stay there for a couple of days and head back in traffic to the cities again. Kind of humorous. But, yeah. Anyways, well, I appreciate your time on that. I just, I just don't, I knew that, you guys got to make money too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was saying out of the get-go there. But hey, it's good talking with you there.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I enlightened you on. I hope I enlightened you on a little bit, and sometimes, but just be cautious and be prepared. And I would stock up on supplies, your food and that, because the food supply it's going up because the dollar is worthless. 1913 is when the Federal Reserve came out, and our dollar has lost 98% of its value today. That's why when I was a kid, I could go buy a $5 Snickers. Now they're $2.50. Our average homes are $400,000. Where even years ago, I was in the 40s. $10,000 for a house.
Right.
And $2,500 for a car. It's because the dollar is being decimated, and that the value and stay out of the cities when the shit hits, because it will hit.
There you go, man.
Your internet's going to probably go down here sometime in the near future, I think, and that'll cause a lot of problems. So just be prepared if you can. There's a storm coming, so if there's a storm coming, then go buy some plywood for your windows, and like you would, and make sure your generator's got gas, and that's all you can do. You won't be able to beat this. You'll no way of getting around it. You just want to be able to try to weather through it the best you can, and feed your family.
There you go. All right, Mark. Appreciate your time, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hey, you hung in there longer than most. You did pretty good.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Take care, bro. All right.
Holy wowza. Whew.